All right, so it's going to be my top 23 winter fragrances. No free bottles, no affiliates, no links, no nothing. Just my honest opinion based on my subjective experience here. I wanted to make the list the top 10, but winter is my favorite season for fragrances of all time. And it came at 23. At 23 fragrances, and I decided to rank them for entertainment value. But every fragrance that I wrote down and have here deserves to be number one. And I think it's a good thing that it's a big list. It will give you guys ideas of things to try and discover for yourself. After sampling a lot of things, these all stood out to me. I know it can be really frustrating to get a sample and it's just another vanilla or just another cinnamon fragrance. And all of these surprised me. They each have their own personality and character. That's one thing I love about all of them. And depending on the mood I'm in, some days any one of these could be number one. But I ranked them based on just my overall affinity at the time. And I could tell you, once you get into my top 10, it really starts getting in. I'll have these for the rest of my life, no matter what. I have some desire to downsize this collection at some point, but the top 10, especially the top 5 here, I'll never let go of. They're my treasures from this whole journey. But the rest of them are kind of meshed together and they're all great. And I only ranked them because I had to. So I'm not going to do a super long intro here. I'm going to just jump into it. The first one, the bottom ranked one, ranked at number 23, would be Parfums de Marly Herod. Again, this is only ranked on the bottom because there had to be one on the bottom. I think this is a fantastic fragrance on scent alone. In fact, it smells so good. One of the things that frustrates me about this fragrance is it doesn't really push out or perform a lot. And I'm not really a performance bro, but this is one of those really frustrating fragrances because it smells so good. In a way, this is number one. This is probably the best smelling cologne on this list for the winter. I think it smells fantastic. That I'm frustrated it doesn't push out more. And if it did, this would probably be my signature scent. So what does Herod smell like to me? Almost like if you were to dip a cigar into some type of cherry liqueur and put a bit of cinnamon on it. It has this kind of cherry vibe almost. I get that cherry kind of smell in a way that's really addictive, warm, cinnamony, and the tobacco comes in and makes it masculine and grown. And it just feels so pleasant. This is such a crowd-pleasing scent. I can't imagine this offending too many people. I know some people, when they smell this, they just get pure cigar. So definitely sample it for yourself. But I feel so confident and comfortable wearing this. It doesn't really push out. So in the winter time, I kind of reserve this for occasions where I really don't feel like pushing out a fragrance. I just want to smell good with a nice intimate sillage. That's a Herod is for me. And every time I smell it, I'm like, damn, does it get better than this? On a crowd-pleasing way. It's so amazing to me. People will say this smells like tobacco vanille or spice bomb. I don't agree with that at all. I can't think of anything that it does smell like. I feel like it's unique, but at the same time, it's very mass appealing. It's not really a challenge. It's just one of those, this smells so amazing fragrances. It's not one I really had to figure out too much. This is going to be a two-parter here, but I'm going to put Patchouli 24. Really would be the one that's ranked number 22 on this list. Patchouli 24 and T-Rex. I'm going to kind of put them together here. They're both smoke bombs. That's why they're together. I've always wanted a fragrance that just punched the smell of smoke. I love the smell of smoke. And I always wanted a perfume where a perfumer sat there and said, let's make smoke smell like how a man should smell. So a masculine, smoky fragrance. And I've tried a lot of them. None of them have nailed it quite like Patchouli 24 has. Patchouli 24, first off, when you spray this, I'm going to spray it right now just for the heck of it. It's like you're spraying smoke. It literally smells like something is burning, but in a good way and the best way possible. And it's one of those samples that when I tried this, it surprised me. I'd been doing and discovering niche for a long time at this point. This is one of my later discoveries. And when I sprayed this, it made me jump back. I was like, what? What is this? Because it was I just sprayed absolute smoke on me. But a really good smelling smoke. As it dries down, there's a bit of a barbecue thing going on. Not a whole lot. It almost is like mesquite fire. If you were to imagine something like that. It has a flavor to the smoke. Almost as if it was coming from a mesquite fire grill or something. I don't really get meat, but I get I don't know, wood chips burning in a grill. With that, a bit of vanilla starts coming in and makes it more pleasant and more easy to get along with as it dries down. The opening is a bit rough and a bit intense. I love this fragrance. It's one of those leather jacket fragrance in the winter. It just calms me. If you like the smell of smoke, absolutely try this one. I put T-Rex as a side-by-side because they're both smoke bombs. T-Rex is more challenging, harder to get away with. It's balsamic. It's very smoke forward. It kind of has a Patchouli 24 thing going, but in a more creative direction. It's almost like if you take Patchouli 24 and instead of it being vanillic, you turned it into green olives and balsamic. That's what T-Rex is. I love T-Rex. My wife hates it. If I'm off of work and I'm going out just by myself and I want to spray something for the fun of it, T-Rex is like one of the funnest fragrances out there. And that's kind of why I got into the hobby of fragrances. Yes, I want to smell good, but it's also really fun to have this. So this is fun. This is for me. I don't wear it around my wife. I don't wear it to work. This kind of has more of like if you were to work on cars all day and your hands were to smell like car, like a mechanic's hands. I always say I smell like a mechanic with this one on. This one's more like barbecue smoke, smooth, leather jacket vibes. I feel like most people would get along with this one more, but I love both. It's just if I'm around people, Patchouli 24. If I'm by myself, T-Rex. All right, this is a recent discovery. Bvlgari Orom. I feel like that's how you pronounce it. This is one of their mini bottles of it. And this surprised me. I remember like my friend told me it was his favorite vanilla. And before I got this, I was like, do I really need another vanilla? But I trust this guy's opinion. Massive collection. Then I got a couple YouTube comments over the years, and I got one recently where a guy said, Absolute Aventus is mid. Orom is like the king. And that comment just put me over the edge. I was like, I got to try this Orom. Like, what is this? Another way I've heard about Orom is in a fragrance group I'm in. Somebody said, what's the best Bvlgari private line? And 90% of the comments said Orom. Not Tiger, not Gion, but Orom. And my friend even asked me, he's like, man, is Orom really that good? So Orom is this theme that's reoccurred throughout my fragrance journey. I was like, I got to get this and try it. And I was worried it was going to be a basic vanilla. I don't need another vanilla, for real. And when I sprayed it, it was anything but that. It was actually what I would consider this to be as a very dominant leather fragrance. And the leather I get from this is very suede. It makes me think of suede. And it also has a rubbery accent to it. It's very realistic, front and center. First thing I'm hit with is suede leather with a bit of a rubber tone. And then after that, what kicks in is a bit of Carlisle DNA. I'm not going to lie. Not the apple in Carlisle, but there's some like sharpness of Carlisle. I also get it from Frederic Malle Monsieur. So it might be patchouli that I'm smelling. But really, it really is like suede leather with a bit of Carlisle in the background and a bit of vanilla. And the vanilla is not ice creamy. It's not super sweet. It's not dominating the composition. I almost feel like the vanilla in here is acting like a chaser because the suede rubbery leather and the Carlisle DNA is like super bitter. And there's just the right amount of vanilla to help you take it all in without it being too much. This is almost like the Green Irish Tweed of what leather fragrance is, in my opinion. It has that very calm, grown, put together, classic masculine vibe. There's really nothing like this. I totally get people that relate it to Baby Cat because of the suede note, but this is way more leather dominant than Baby Cat. And I get people that say it smells like Carlisle, but there's way more going on here than just Carlisle. So it kind of like, I understand, I've read some reviews where people say it's like Baby Cat and Carlisle, and I see where they're coming from, but in my opinion, Orom is really its own thing, and the leather note in this is just supreme, excellent winter wear. And again, like when I sampled this and when I sprayed it, it surprised me. I was like, whoa, this is like nothing else. And I really like it. Very classic, grown, put together, masculine winter scent. Next up, we have Roja Apex Parfum. Now, this fragrance has gotten a lot of hate. I don't think it's justified. A lot of the reason is the Apex on here kind of looks like the axe. Also, this bottle retails for like $500 for a 50 ml. Granted, I shop on discounters, but yeah, a lot of people feel it's really overpriced and the branding is silly. It looks like an Axe bottle. So I feel like this one never got the shine that it deserved. That's my opinion, my personal opinion, because this is actually an amazing fragrance. It really reminds me of Absolute Aventus in some ways. It doesn't have the Aventus DNA, but it does have the pineapple and it does have the Sauvage Elixir DNA. But instead of the Aventus DNA, it has Polo Green. Like that's the best way I could describe this to you is polo green with a pineapple thing going to make it more modern and almost like a Sauvage Elixir cinnamon old school spice DNA. This is one of those really easy to wear scents. It's very powerful. It really pushes out, extremely strong, very pleasant. And I'll be honest, I prefer this to Absolute Aventus. I'm kind of burnt out on Aventus DNA. So many people are wearing it too. And there's so many inspired by that. I'm just kind of done with it. I love Absolute Aventus, but Apex gives me something new. It's like polo green with that kind of like any situation where I'd wear Absolute Aventus, I'd wear this. And it gives me something new. I could smell it all day. It really pushes out. It's a very strong fragrance. Really amazing stuff. I just love it. Like green, Sauvage Elixir, and pineapple. And very office friendly, very nice, dark, masculine scent. I really love Apex Parfum. This one deserves a spot no matter what. Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. A lot of y'all smelled it if you haven't. What I love about this is the wet tobacco leaves. The tobacco note is so realistic. It's almost gives me like a close to nature feel. But with that, I get honey kind of going on and I get cinnamon. So in a way, it kind of is like Wajan, but with tobacco leaf, fresh tobacco leaf up front. So that honeyed cinnamon kind of thing going on in the base and mid. But what makes Tobacco Vanille different is the front and center tobacco, and the tobacco in this is very realistic to me. It feels very detailed. I've tried alternatives to this fragrance, and it made me appreciate this one more. Like there's so much detail in this, and it just feels like such a nice quintessential winter scent. It reminds me of Christmas. It has those Christmas spices going with the honey, and then that tobacco and the way it is, the freshness of it. It just feels so grown and so masculine. It just feels like one of those ones that honestly, this list would just be incomplete without it. This is not like the most exciting scent for me to wear. It's predictable, I know it, but I wear it a lot, especially if I'm going to meet up with somebody, if I were to go to an important meeting or things like that, and I just wanted to wear something nice, predictable, gentlemanly, grown, I would reach for Tobacco Vanille without much thought. And I need to dust them things, but like this one had to be on this list. This is what got me into fragrances to begin with. My first love fragrance. Gucci Intense Oud, also the most underpriced fragrance on this list. This was like a hype beast when it came out, I think in 2016, but people swear it got reformulated and now it only lasts 2 seconds and then it goes away. I'm telling you, it did not get reformulated. As somebody who's tried the old Gucci Intense Oud and the new, it's exactly the same. I don't know why so many people claim that or are so sure of it. Maybe they got bad bottles or not legit ones or something happened there. I will say I go nose blind to this, but this fills a room. This is one of the strongest fragrances I have out here. This bottle specifically, I think it's a 2021 or 2022. There's nothing like it. Okay, if I were to describe the scent, I would say it smells like woody raisins and it smells very resinous. So it has this smell of purple for real, like a royal purple, dark purple. That's why I say raisins. It doesn't smell fruity. It's just like, that's the only thing I could think of. It's like darker than grape soda for sure. It's darker than that. And then it has this really nice woody resin nature to it. Almost like they were trying to create an impression of oud out of wood and cumin and maybe like an oud note in there. But the way it all comes together, it's just this super resinous, grown, hyper masculine scent. And there's nothing like it except for Nasomato Black Afghano. I will admit there is some crossover there. I just feel this one's smoother. It's better made. I get kind of a pissy smell from Black Afghano that I don't get from this one. And I do get smoke from Black Afghano more than I do from here. I do get the incense here, but I feel like there's more incense in the Black Afghano. But this one by itself is just an absolute masterpiece. It feels so underpriced. It feels niche grade. It feels very unique. And if Gucci really, this designer brand Gucci really drew inspiration from Nasomato, which is like a small niche house, I wish more designer brands did stuff like that. Like actually went to the niche world and took things and put their own spin and twist on it. This is a very nice incensey, very bold, round, purple smell, and there's nothing like it. I get a lot of compliments with this. Still one of the best fragrances I've ever tried, and the presentation is amazing on it. Given what this cost, it's worth sampling. Give it a try. It's something else, definitely. Like, I'm just here to share my experience, not sell you guys on anything. But if I were to sell you on trying a sample from this list, I'd say try Gucci Intense Oud and Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Those two are just overlooked. And I'll get into this one in a little bit. Next up is Zoologist Squid. An oceanic for the winter, for real. When I think of Zoologist Squid, I thought it was going to be way more challenging than it is, because zoologists, they draw their inspiration from animals. So I say, what does a squid smell like? And I thought it was going to be something more hardcore, more nasty, more revolting than what I got. This is actually a pretty pleasant scent to me. Some people can't stand it. To some people, it's totally gross. So definitely sample. It's not blind buy safe. But I was expecting something way edgier, way more animalic, way more hardcore. When I spray this, what I get from it is the smell of ink, for real. Like, it's very ink forward. And if you don't know what ink smells like, you will after you smell this. Like, it's weird. It brought those memory associations. Like, if you asked me before I smell squid, what does ink smell like? I probably wouldn't really be able to conjure up an image of how ink smells. But the second I sprayed this squid, it conjured up every image of like a ballpoint pen breaking in my pocket I've ever had in my life. So it does have that inky smell, but it also has like a beautiful blue amber with an incense going. And with that, there's the smell of the ocean, like a marine. So it's this very smooth, inky, aquatic, resinous thing. And it's actually really calming. This is one of those ones. It's really calming. It's not as challenging as I thought it was going to be. And it feels like somebody in a video game was just mashing buttons when they created this, and then they hit a hole in one. Like, I feel like this is not derivative at all. There's nothing like it. It's pretty reasonably easy for me to wear. It's very calming, relaxing. I love how it has the ink note front and center. I don't have anything else like this. And that ink with the blue amber. One way to think about this is Oceanic Interlude Man with inkiness. If you like Interlude, I'd really recommend you try out Zoologist Squid for sure. They're not the same. You might hate this one, but I get a connection in the incense, blue, amber, darkness thing I'm talking about. The only difference is, instead of oregano, this one has like an oceanic inkiness up top. Next up, we have Xerjoff Alexandria II. I wasn't a big fan of this one in the past. A lot of it is that opening. All right, let me just get into the scent. This is a very royal scent, and the amber is the Alexandria II smell. Like, it's something else. Like, there's a powdery freshness to this, right? And I definitely get an animalic oud going in the first hour especially. And then I get this really warm ambery smell that almost is ambery the way this bottle is colored. Like, it's weird to say you smell colors, but you kind of do with this one. Like, the amber is like that, and it gives it this darkness. I used to think the amber smelled like Coca-Cola. I used to think it smelled like a bunch of different things, but I got down and said, this is just the Alexandria II smell. This one just reeks royalty. Like, it's a very royal, posh scent. Kind of has that makeup bag DNA. So if you think of things like Dior Homme Parfum, Dior Homme Intense, that kind of classy makeup bag thing going. But this doesn't have the iris. It really just has this powdery top and this really warm, elegant base. And if you like Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum, this is definitely one to try. I would also say this is pretty challenging scent, but I really like it. It really projects, it performs. It's an oud fragrance, and I feel like it has a very realistic oud smell, especially in the first hour. But it's not another rose oud. It's not another fruit oud. It's its own thing. It's almost like a powdery oud. And it just has this really elegant Sherlock Holmes kind of dark, mysterious detective vibe to it. Very mature, very classic. I feel like it's in its own lane, and it's an excellent fragrance, and the quality is just way up there. Like, definitely worth having, worth sampling. I really look forward to wearing this winter. When I reviewed it, I had the 50 mil, and as you can see, I upgraded to the 100 mil. Like, I like it that much. Next up, we have Ombre Nomade by Louis Vuitton. And this one is a polarizing fragrance. It took me a really long time to actually get my head around this one. A lot of it is it's a rose fragrance. Rose fragrances tend to challenge me more than other things because rose, I have associations to like grandmas and stuff. I also felt that this fragrance was just always too much, like dirty and dark, and too like loud and bold and look at me. But I've gotten a lot more comfortable wearing this. I wore it for a week and it really grew on me. And what I really get from this is rose, and the rose is definitely a perfumey rose, but it also has a darkness to it. In the base, in the mid, I get a really nice leather, almost like a very vintage leather belt kind of feel, and almost like a raspberry jam. And this raspberry, it's not like a fresh, bright raspberry. It's not candied. It's not overly sweet. It almost has the density of how you'd imagine a jammy raspberry. And all three of these parts run like a chain reactor, and it feels like everything's going off in such a perfect relationship, but yet I could smell the vintage leather, I could smell the raspberry, I could smell the rose as three separate things. So this is like perfumer mastery. I believe the perfumer behind this, I mean, he did like Tuscan leather. I know he had his hand in Noir de Noir, and he's probably been perfecting this style fragrance for like a long time. And I feel like he just put this out as like one of his masterpieces. And I love the perfumery here. This is one of those fragrances. When I wear this, I know people around me are going to smell me, especially in the wintertime. So I actually learned to appreciate that. I feel like a lot of fragrances these days are a bit too weak. And I like to put some on and know people around me are going to smell it. And people around me have given me, they've told me this isn't as offensive as I make it out to be. So a lot of the issues I had happened in my own head. It's actually a pretty pleasant scent. It's great perfumery, and it's really in its own class. People will say, oh, it's a typical Western oud, and I really don't think it is. I feel like, yeah, it kind of has that typical oud rose kind of thing going, but it has the perfumer behind this, Jacques Cavalier, I think is how you pronounce his name. But it has his mastery of the raspberry note in this and his mastery of the leather note in this. And so it's really almost like a merging between European perfumery and Middle Eastern. And I feel like it's a beautiful merge by a master perfumer who's been doing this for 50 years. Absolute masterpiece fragrance. And I just love wearing it. It's a bold fragrance. I have to be in the mood for it. When I wear it, I have to own it. And it has to be the right place and setting in my mind. And I just spray this on, go out, and feel like an absolute boss. That's what Ombre Nomade is. I love this fragrance. It's one I'm definitely holding on to, mostly because of the value of it. People will say this is too expensive, but you really only need one spray, so you can wear it like 1,000 times out of this bottle. There's a lot of Creed fragrances where you need to drop half a liter on yourself just to smell like Creed for like 20 minutes. So, you know, those are ripoffs. This, to me, actually is a reasonable value because of the pure strength of it. You can get a sample of this from Louis Vuitton, and that's enough to wear it several times easily with this one. Next up, we're going to talk about Angel Share and Wajan. Both excellent fragrances. I prefer the smell of Wajan, but I prefer the performance of Angel Share. And I also feel Angel Share just has more going on. Feels a bit more complex, but it's more gourmand and it's more feminine. Neither of these are really super masculine to me, but it is more soft, more feminine, more gourmand. So it's not as versatile as Wajan. Wajan took the idea of Angel Share, in my opinion, and turned it into a male's cologne. Wajan's more masculine. It smells more like a cologne. I feel like it's a lot more versatile, but it doesn't last as long. It's not as strong as Angel Share, and to me, it's not as complex. Like, I feel like Angel Share has more depth and more going on. Angel Share, to me, there's so much going on with it, but at the end of the day, it really puts a cartoonish image in my mind of having dessert on Christmas Day. And it's like literally a boozy apple pie. I could literally smell the crust, the burnt crust, and the booziness, like a cognac sort of smell. And I even get like just the slightest bit of smoke and a really fresh, deep apple and cinnamon. And it really is that almost one simple way to describe it is if you wear Angel Share, you're going to smell like a Cinnabon in the best way possible. Like, that's a very simplified way to describe this fragrance, but sometimes simple works the best. It's the best smelling Cinnabon in the world. Wajan is like they took that Cinnabon and tried to turn it into a male's cologne and were very successful, but they lost a lot of performance. Wajan has almost like this silly putty thing going. It's way more focused on the cinnamon part of it, and it just has a freshness that colognes have, so it just feels more cologne-y. I like the smell of Wajan more, but overall, Angel Share wins, because this, I could spray it on at 8 in the morning, and I'm going to be projecting all day. It's going to last me all day. I'm going to get home at 8 at night, and maybe even then still smell it on my wrist. So Angel Share for the win. Next up, we have Grand Soir. And this would be my number one pick if I could only have one cologne for the winter and fall for cold seasons. It would be Grand Soir. Quintessential amber fragrance. It smells like an orange fluffy cloud. Like that's what it just smells like perfection. It's not really a vanilla fragrance. I get a richness from this. Like I definitely get lavender on the opening, but when it dries down, it almost has this, it doesn't smell like butterscotch. It doesn't smell like peanut butter. It doesn't smell gourmand because you can't really link it to any specific food, but it has that type of richness to it. It has a bit of vanilla, and overall it's just producing the effect of what amber would smell like if amber had a smell, what the color of this fragrance smells like. And then the end of the day, it's this fluffy orange cloud. And what I love about it is I feel like I could dress it up. I could dress it down. I could wear it formally, casually. Everyone around me likes it. It lasts all day. Like I'm talking, you only need a couple sprays of this and you'll be good for like 12 hours. I'd be getting compliments at 10 hours plus from a distance. And it's just so easy to like. And it's just such a nice, warm orange cloud, like a fluffy orange cloud. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. Has this almost like, it's not thin, but it's also not too thick. It's really in this beautiful zone where it's just this really nice wisp of orange elegance following you throughout your day. That's Grand Soir. And if I could only have one fragrance, it would be this one, mostly because of the performance and honestly the wearability. I feel like I could wear this all fall and winter. I could wear it every day, and I don't have to worry about reapplying. I don't have to worry about it not lasting the whole day. Like I just spray this on in the morning. I go out, I get a ton of compliments. I'm good all day, and I'm good. And also this just conjures up a lot of imagery of the fall, of the winter. There's some about this color that reminds me of that. So when a fragrance gives me the color orange, it makes me think of colder weather. And I love Grand Soir. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. I reviewed it. I said I was going to upgrade to the 200 ml, and this bottle is ginormous, and it's awesome. Next up, we have Iommi Monkey Special. This one I didn't like at first because it's different, okay? Grainy rye bread, like that's what I get. Almost like the perfumer here was trying to give you the impression of distortion on a guitar. So he made the opening of this really grainy. I get like passion fruit raisins inside of rye bread, almost like a fermented bread. And it's like something that's just grainy and grimy. And I actually love the opening. A lot of people don't, but in the dry down, it gets into this boozy coffee cake territory, projects a lot. And just the branding, the whole style of the scent, I feel like it's very unique, but I feel so comfortable wearing this. Like a lot of people don't, but I personally do. And it really brings back a lot of nostalgia. It makes me think of Hot Topic. It makes me think of Ozfest and those times of music. And so this is just like one of those fragrances that really speaks to me personally, but I also love the scent. I feel like it's very welcoming. I get a lot of compliments when I wear this. And also, it lasts the whole damn day. It's creative. It's like nothing else. Like, what more could I ask for? But in that dry down, somebody said it smelled like whiskey and coffee cake to them. And I feel like that was one of the best ways to describe it. But what other fragrance smells like whiskey and coffee cake? You know what I'm saying? So I love Iommi Special. Definitely belongs on this list. Next up, we have Roja Engima Parfum. Not the Parfum cologne, the Parfum. Okay? This is your Jack and Coke. I've talked about this in other lists, but it's so amazing how it captures the literal bubbles, like the fizzy bubbles of that. And it almost has like a root beer smell. And in that root beer, it's like you got a bit of cognac. But this is very like, I don't know. I feel like this is dry. Like it has like a masculine dryness to it. So it's like when you think root beer, cognac, when you think of those things, you're probably thinking sweet, sticky. And that's not what this is. It's grown, masculine. It's like something else. It projects, has a lot of really good performance, and it just smells so good. It's Roja. Like Roja makes top tier fragrances. Their quality is, no matter what you think about the brand and the pricing and how tacky they are, I feel like Roja is like the highest grade of fragrances that I've personally tried. And they decided to do cognac and Coke, or cognac and root beer, and make it into a masculine grown fragrance. And in that, I feel they were extremely successful. And the quality just screams on this one. A lot of it is when you spray this, you actually smell the bubbles of the root beer. And it's like, how did they manage to do that? And it's like sparkly. And it just pushes out, and it's this beautiful cloud. I think it's one of the best fragrances I've ever tried in my life. Damn. Next up, we have Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Not the Eau de Toilette. I love both. Don't get me wrong. But talking about winter here, you can wear both of those in the winter, honestly. But I prefer the Parfum to the Eau de Toilette. And the Parfum, fair man, this is one, like, I'm not trying to sell you guys on anything, but if you like, let me add one more sample to my cart. What should it be? And you haven't tried this one, try this one. It's Fahrenheit DNA, but it has a boozy Coke. It's like a bourbon vanilla thing going, and it's not like YSL Tuxedo at all, because YSL Tuxedo I feel like is very about the bourbon and vanilla in the base. This is like YSL Tuxedo's super dark, hyper masculine cousin, almost like it has that boozy bourbon vanilla thing going with Fahrenheit DNA, and that Fahrenheit DNA is very leathery. It's very grown and masculine. And it's almost like they took the original Fahrenheit and turned it into a gourmand by putting it in Bailey's liquor. Like, that's another way I would describe it. And in that, they were very successful. It ended up being better than the original. Like, to me, this is a masterpiece. I call it masculine candy. Anytime I put it on, I'm like, man, it's like I'm wearing masculine candy. Like, this smells amazing. It doesn't smell gourmand. It's not edible. Don't get me wrong. But there's some about this that just smells so, like, in a way, delicious. I don't get it. It's not like it smells like a food, but it just smells like beautiful masculine candy, and it's absolutely phenomenal. In my opinion, this is niche grade. It's as good as any niche fragrance I've tried. Super complex, lasts for like 12 hours, projects all day, gets compliments, and for whatever reason, you can get these at a pretty decent price. I have no idea why, because I believe this has either been discontinued or it's going to be. I guess everybody's much more into smelling like vanilla cupcake these days. So, but if you want to smell like a man, Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Next up, I only have a decan of this one because I told my wife, I love this fragrance so much. I want you to get it for me for Christmas. I love this fragrance that much. Like, I want a special memory association tied to me having that fragrance. And so I won't get the bottle because at the time I would sell whatever I had to get it. But I told my wife, I'm going to let you get me the bottle. I'm going to let you get me this masterpiece of a fragrance. And that is Zoologist Rhinoceros. I know. You either never heard of it or you're probably getting like mental images in your head that just aren't very pleasant. Man, but I love this fragrance. I will admit the opening of Rhinoceros is rough. It kind of opens up very animalic. Almost smells like a big bunch of mulch. Like a big bunch of like wet earth and grass. And I remember I thought I smelled like the smell of rocks the first time I smelt it. It's one that opens a little more rough, but when it goes into the dry down, this is the most masculine fragrance I ever smelled in my life. Imagine you rolled around in a bunch of mulch on a rainy day, you lit up a cigar, and then you had a fireball shot next to you. So like cinnamon whiskey kind of thing going on. Like, that's what this smells like. It has this earthiness to it. It has this cigar smell that's super realistic. Like, the cigar note in here is not playing any games. And then you also have that cinnamon whiskey note, which is also very realistic. We're not talking boozy sweet, boozy perfumey, boozy artificial. This smells photorealistic. It smells like you're smoking a cigar, or you dipped a cigar in a fireball shot and you smelled it. And with that, you're getting the mulch and the earthiness, which kind of is perceivably what the smell of a rhinoceros enclosure would smell like. Like it did conjure up memories of the zoo. So I almost feel like I'm in a rhinoceros enclosure with smoking cigars and drinking fireball whiskey shots. Like, it almost has that kind of thing going. That might sound disgusting, but everybody I've shown this perfume to has liked it. Everybody, including my wife, people at work. As a matter of fact, one day I brought Rhinoceros and Outlands, and most people said that they preferred Rhinoceros to Outlands. It really sounds disgusting the way I describe it. It's one of those ones that no matter how you describe it, you can't make it sound pleasant. But I did read one Parfumo review where a guy said it's almost like Tom Ford Tobacco Oud for adults. And I actually agree. It's like they took like tobacco oud and they made it not smell like a candle anymore, but smell like this is what a man smells like. Like, this is a man's natural stench. If he parties like a rock star, smokes cigars, like this is what he smells like, but in the best way possible. It smells great. It smells fantastic. I love it. It's such a vibe. And there's absolutely nothing else like it. Very good performance. everyone around me seems to like it. Like Rhinoceros is one of the kings, and it's Zoologist, which is one of the brands that I feel like is the most fun, and I enjoy collecting them. And when I sample Zoologist, it's like I'm always in for a laugh or a good time, and I love the brand. But Rhinoceros, even if it wasn't from Zoologist, it's just a great fragrance. Rhinoceros is the best Zoologist, in my opinion. And I can't think of a more masculine fragrance than this. If you could think of one, comment with it. I've never smelled anything as masculine as this in my life. You have to be super manly to pull this off. So it's for grown men that work with their hands. It's very hardcore. If you really like that, you don't like this new wave of perfumes where everything's unisex and people can wear whatever they want, and you like the separation, you like a hardcore masculine scent, you're a dangerous man. This is for a dangerous, if I smell this off you, I'm gonna think this guy's dangerous. If you like that idea, try Rhinoceros. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee you will not. Next up, we have The Night by Frederic Malle. This is, of course, a very expensive fragrance. I think it's the most expensive fragrance that I have. The 50 ml retails for $1,350 because it uses a lot of real oud. It has very high quality ingredients, and it has Dominique Ropion, who's a master perfumer. Been doing it his whole life, knows what he's doing, and they gave him the best raw materials they could. And there's a lot of real oud in this. And this is just the best rose oud. Okay, so in a way, this is expensive, but it's replaced my need for a lot of other rose ouds. I obviously did not pay retail for this, and it's just the best rose oud. It opens up with that super raw animalic oud smell. It's not actually the most stinky oud I've smelt, but it's also not a super easy to like oud. It's really perfect in the sense that it kind of strikes a good middle for me. It's challenging enough that I'm interested in the oud note in this, but it's not so challenging that it's just gross. It has that definitely barnyardy, leathery oud smell for real on the opening. As it dries down, Portrait of a Lady DNA comes in, which is just that beautiful Portrait of a Lady kind of rose. So it's very dark, and the oud kind of tames and comes in. So you get this really natural, raw oud smell with Portrait of a Lady DNA. And it honestly is like a gothic fragrance to me. It's just very dark, but very welcoming, inviting, very high quality, very well blended. I love wearing The Night in the wintertime. It's just an absolute masterpiece. Is it worth the money? Honestly, no. The pricing is obnoxious on this one. But if you ever find a good deal of The Night, or you want to sample just to try something super high grade, try real oud, but you don't want to do an attar, you want to spray it on, and you want to try one of the best rose ouds ever made, I would get a sample of The Night and try it out if that's what you want to do. It's very strong, so even if you get a 5 ml sample somewhere, that'll last you a pretty good amount of time. It could be a special occasion thing, but The Night, I love The Night. I think it's amazing. I think it's the best rose oud ever. Yeah. Next up, we have Silver Oud. A lot of you tried this. It has a real oud note, but it really has that vanilla focus, and I get a smoky forest. And honestly, the first time I tried Silver Oud, I thought this is just too barnyardy for me. But as my nose developed, I've learned to really, really appreciate this fragrance. I believe it has a lot of cypriol in it, but I don't know what cypriol smells like. I know there's a lot of cypriol in Promise, but I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really see a connection here, between those two. What I get from this is a true barnyard masculine oud note, and a grizzly burning forest thing, but this vanilla that's making everything really soothing, very calm, relaxing. I actually feel pretty comfortable wearing this, and people around me seem to like it. I do think it's one of those ones that if you spray it on your arm and smell it up close, it could be a bit revolting. It's better in light doses in the air. Just too much of anything can become a bad thing quick. I'll say it's worth trying if you just want to sample something hyper masculine, very new. It's an oud fragrance, but it really feels non-derivative. And it's just a very nice fragrance. I really love wearing it. It's just calming. Next up, we have Amouage Royal Tobacco, another amazing fragrance. I'll be honest, does it smell like a Christmas candle? Kind of does to me, and it never will not smell like that. But it's a very grown, masculine, serious Christmas candle. It's very serious fragrance. And I do get the tobacco, but for me, it's fresh tobacco leaves. Almost smells like I'm in a tobacco forest. It has a foresty green smell that punches you and smells like hardcore raw, realistic tobacco with this really red Christmas candle, and it's got a bit of licorice coming in. And the whole fragrance is just so overwhelming. It's like way too much up close. But if you smell this in the air when you're walking by somebody, like I had a friend with this on, and it just creates the most complex cloud. And for some reason, I get really stuck on wearing this. Like, almost like it's exciting no matter what. I never get bored of this scent. I think it's because it's just so over the top and so extra, so strong and so grown. Like, this is like serious stuff, man. This fragrance is like literally no joke. This stuff is also dangerous. Like, this is Herod, like on steroids. Like, Herod grew up, took a bunch of steroids. Like, that's what this reminds me of. Like, this is next level, super grown, maybe too mature for a lot of people. You have to be a mature man to appreciate this. And like a really deep, resinous, intense perfume that's just like, it almost burns your nose when you smell it. Like, Royal Tobacco's fun. It's amazing. Very grown, masculine, gentlemanly scent. Definitely high up on the rankings. Next up, we have Tom Ford Noir de Noir. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's hard to describe this fragrance. Like, it's not a rose oud at all. It's its own thing. It's not a chocolate flavored rose. It's a rose flavored chocolate. Okay, so what I'm trying to say with that statement, to make it simple, is I feel like the chocolatey nature of this is very upfront, and the rose is more of an accent. Like, it doesn't feel very rosy to me. Like, Ombre Nomade feels way more rosy than this one. This one has like a earthy, patchouli, chocolatey thing going that's very front and center. And the rose is just like flavoring it almost, like making it a chocolate that's flavored with rose. And the whole thing just comes across so classic, so masculine. Like, honestly, this could be like a signature too. Like, this stuff's absolutely phenomenal. And it's great. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It's not one that really stands out as like polarizing or divisive. But when you think about it, and with like a broad scope of what perfume are, you realize there's nothing that smells like this. Like, it's only sensible because of how perfectly blended and well done it is. But it's also extremely sensible. Like, I would have no issue going to a job interview smelling like this. And it smells like a professional man in a suit. And I love the sensibility of this, but at the same time, I love how non-derivative it is. There's nothing like it at all. And it's just this beautiful, masculine, chocolatey, earthy rose smell. And it's definitely worth trying. The Club de Nuit Intense Woman doesn't smell like this at all. It smells way more feminine. The rose is way more perfumey. Like, I put off trying this because I thought it would be like that one because so many people say it is. It's not at all. Like, the original is way more masculine. Totally different fragrance, like, for real. All right, we're getting close to the end here. I'm losing it. I'm losing touch with reality. Next up, Musc Ravageur. If you know me, this is one of my favorite fragrances of all time, but not everybody gets it. I had a friend of mine, Vince. He tried this, and he thought it was like, oh, what's the big deal? It kind of is that. It's like you're one of three people. One, you think this smells like urine and you can't stand it. Two, you think it smells like a bunch of other cinnamon scents. Or three, you're like me and you think it's an absolute masterpiece that nothing can ever touch and it deserves top 4, like the 4th best winter fragrance of all time. That's where I'm at with it. I get a really nice, almost fougere-like quality that's modern with the cinnamon amber and just this very sexy smell. Like, it's that. There's definitely an animalic tone in the opening, and it does remind me kind of like if you were by a fireplace and you got the smell of cat fur, it's like that. It's a very sensual smell with cinnamon amber, and it just produces this grown, masculine, classic man's fragrance. Like, that's what it smells like to me. And I just love wearing it. And it feels like one of those things, it's like a rock star could pull this off, or a guy in a suit and tie. So it's hard to tie it into anything. It's just a very sensual fragrance. And the cinnamon amber in this is just amazing. Great performance. Get a lot of compliments. Absolutely love Musc Ravageur. To me, it's just a classic. A quintessential classic. And a lot of people say try pre-reform. I haven't. I'm perfectly happy with the modern versions. And I plan to keep it that way. Why mess with it? I don't care to spend a bunch of money if I really like the current one. Next up, we have Roja Parfum de la Nuit. This is amazing, man. And, people are going to say that PDLN 3 is a different fragrance, even though Roja says that it's just a rebottling and he gave it the purple cap, which he does to his favorite fragrances. It's literally the same thing. I side-by-sided this with Parfum de la Nuit 3. Zero difference. Could have came from the same bottle. Anybody I know that actually is side-by-sided the PDLN 3 and the 2025 PDLN release has said they're exactly the same. Anybody I trust. But people argue and say, oh, this one smells totally different. I literally don't trust the internet anymore when it comes to reformulation conversations because I realize there's some people that are just naturally delusional. And if you just like, if a company literally just changes a little nuttin on the bottle, these people will be convinced it's a totally different fragrance inside. Like it's almost as if their brains can't handle the idea of a bottle changing, but the fragrance staying the same. It's really interesting. Like I'm not going on a rant or tangent too much here, but it's just comical with this one. This smells like Parfum de la Nuit 3. This is Parfum de la Nuit, the 2025 release. I'm going to be specific here. This is amazing. Like it's amazing. And it's really hard to describe the way it smells. I've said it's like Captain Crunch berries with almost like a spicy cumin smell. Like there's something actually like modern and very like easy to like about this, the sweetness of it. That's why I say Captain Crunch berries, because that's the flavor of sweetness. It's not as sweet as that, but it's just something very likable. And then the spices, it like makes it masculine and it makes it very addictive. It has this addictive, like cumin, if it's played wrong, can smell like armpit. Not in here. It's like just the right amount of cumin to give it enough stink to where it's like stinky crunch berries, but it smells amazing. And it has a bit of a leathery tone to it. And I just love this. There's nothing really that smells that much better than this to me. And there's nothing like it. It's expensive, but man, I feel like with this one, you get what you pay for on the scent, and it's definitely worth trying. Next up, we have Amouage Interlude 53. This is number 2, so it's like super good, addictive, masculine winter scent. I love this, man. I feel like I could wear this every day, man, and not get bored of it. It smells like a Middle Eastern, like I'm in the third world country, smelling smoky resins, balsamic, and it's like ambery and blue, and it's got a bit of sweetness that's making it like cologne-y in a good way. Like it smells good. Like to me, this just smells amazing now. I remember I used to not like Interlude DNA, but now I'm addicted to it. It's like one of those weird things. Like now I can't get enough of it. It's like, man, I love Interlude. And it really does smell like incense, hookah lounge, Middle Eastern bazaar. Has a bit of oregano going. It's smooth. Blue amber and like dark blue ambery kind of thing going. And it's such a unique vibe. It's so amouage and it's also so winter. Like in the coldest days of winter, I'd pull this out and this smell would just comfort my soul. And the number 1 winter fragrance of all time, finally I got here, I don't know how, is Frederic Malle The Moon. Man, if you haven't tried The Moon, you got to try it. It's really strong. This is a really strong stuff, but it's so good. Like I could just say it's so good like 20 times and that would be like what The Moon is to me. It's so rich. Like it could be too much. If you overspray this, it can suffocate you, but it does smell like a beautiful raspberry kind of lychee thing with tart. Like it actually has the tarts. My friend thought the tart part smelled like stomach acid to him. He didn't like The Moon. Like not everybody's going to like The Moon. It's subjective and all that. But what I get is this beautiful, rich, almost like a raspberry cheesecake with a bunch of tart. And I get real oud, like definitely a barnyardy, cheesy smell in the opening. As it dries down, though, I feel like that oud becomes not barnyardy. It just complements. It's complementing this thick, rich raspberry smell with this tart. And it's so thick. And it's so expensive smelling. Like this smells like $1,000 fragrance. Like to me, it smells like worth the money they're charging for it. And the performance matches that up too. And really that realistic oud, when you smell through like that raspberry lychee tart thing, that realistic oud is adding so many layers. I swear to you, this fragrance, like when I spray it and I smell my arm, it's almost holographic. Like we talk about scent evolution. The whole scent is changing as it's going up to my nose. Like as I'm smelling it, the scent is changing and evolving, almost like a frequency wave. And it just smells so rich. It also smells sensible as a perfume. Like it actually smells kind of modern, like the raspberry and the way it goes. I was listening to electronic music once and had the moon on and it fit the vibe. Like it doesn't smell like ancient. It doesn't smell like out of place. It's not like Arabian Prince. It actually smells pretty modern and sensible. It does smell classy and put together. It does smell a bit formal, but it's also a fruity fragrance. It's a fruit oud. And it just puts maracuja, oud maracuja in the dirt. Like that's why I don't have oud maracuja anymore. Is once I smelled this, it's worth the extra money. I'd rather have a decan of this than 200 milliliters of maracuja. And a decan of this would last forever because of how strong it is. But it kind of is in that maracuja vibe, so to speak, where it's not really Middle Eastern, it's not ancient or anything. It's just kind of like this fruity oud. But this one's done extremely well, extremely classy with really good ingredients. All right, I talked your ear off. Hopefully that wasn't over an hour long. And hope you guys got some from this. Comment with y'all top winner picks. And my brain is fried. Love you guys. Peace out.